and rolling. So yeah, Mike should be on there. There we go. So Aidan, Mamaroneck High School.
Yep.
Okay. What I'm not as familiar. I'm a local kid. I played. In fact, Mamaroneck, for those of you who follow high school hoops, is playing CBA, my school, tomorrow afternoon. Is it the championship game?
Semifinal.
Semifinal. Okay. I was gonna say 'cause we went. I lost 5 games total in 3 years at CBA.
Yeah.
All of which were in the state tournament, and then my freshman year of college, they win the state titles. It was annoying, and that was back in, 2000. When did I graduate high school? 06. So yeah, I'm old. But so Mamaroneck High School, you came up here. What is the culture like in that program? Because I looked at them; they look pretty dominant this year.
Yep.
Were they a pretty good team overall for you? Or?
I would say historically, Mamaroneck has never been known as a basketball school.
Really? What do they specialize in?
The very good lacrosse team, very good baseball team. Hockey's pretty good, but never basketball. And credit to Coach Carver. He took over the program, I think, 20 years ago. They were 2-18.
Ooh.
And he's kind of turned the whole thing around. And my sophomore year, we unfortunately got hit by COVID, but
I
had a really good team that year.
I was trying to look up the the records each year you were there, and I saw one year was
my sophomore year got cut short, but really strong team there, and then kind of rebuilt my junior year a little bit, faced some injuries my senior year, and now some of the freshmen I played with my senior year are now taking over the program.
Well, I mean, you're a 2-time section champ. You were all section in high school, 2-time, and you guys win section title and stuff like that while you were there.
We did not, unfortunately.
No, okay.
We had 2 good years, great records, but fell short of the section title.
So the Tigers, I think, is what they're called. And blocking my face here, that's a little better. There we go. I should know this stuff being in radio. But anyways, so what brought you then to Skidmore? Did you seek them out? Did Coach come down to find you? I mean, what brought you up here?
Yeah, I think Coach Millie actually came down. I was playing for the something called the BCANY tournament. Tournament over the summer where each section 1, section 2, section 3.
Sure.
Each section gets an all-star team, and they all go play each other. We actually won it that year, and Coach Millie came down, watched me practice, got in contact with Coach Millie, and then came up here and was just pretty drawn to the town and the program. And
I was gonna say, like, what stood out about Skidmore?
Yeah,
I mean, about being up this way. I mean, I know the town. A lot of people I've had on have said the town, have said the campus. Mm-hmm. Is it different up here than down there? Because you're right outside the city, right?
It is.
Yeah,
it is. It's different up here. I think it's got a great ambiance. Just a fun place to be. And a lot of my AAU coach, my high school coach, they'd heard great things about not only Coach Burke, but also the program. So they were, pushing for it, and I think it just worked out.
Well, you came into a program that had a lot of history, still has a lot of history, and this being my 11th season, I've seen 20-win seasons, I've seen Liberty League titles, I've seen NCAA tournament appearances. Haven't had as much success since you've been here. In fact, you've had probably been a part, and there's nothing against you. I'm just saying you've been part of arguably the 2 worst seasons that they've had.
Absolutely.
But now this year kind of turned it around a little bit.
Of course,
made that run late, won those 2 games on the last weekend at home to really lock up a tournament spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, how has it been coming into a program that you were competitive in high school, you were part of a turnaround in high school, then to come in and not really have the year that you wanted to
have? I would say we came in as freshmen maybe, with too high of expectations and maybe not even realizing how high of a level not only the Liberty League is, but just Division III basketball as a whole. I think it was kind of a shock for a bunch of us. Those first couple games, like, wow, this is a big adjustment.
It is. And I mean, coming from, when I played, 20 years and 100 pounds ago, it was the same thing. I went from, like I said, CBA losing 5 games total in 3 years to going. I played at Hartwick out in Oneonta, and we were a 500 team. Wow, and it was a weird adjustment because it's like, all right, we're dominant in high school. Totally. You get here, you're just another guy, and you're thinking, people are like, oh, D1's the big thing. There's some good ball in the D3 level.
Absolutely. I think the Division III level has not only gotten better, but I think it deserves more credit than it gets.
And being in this, I looked at your bio. You said you chose academics as well as a high level of competition. We just kind of talked a little bit about the high level of competition, but what was it about the academics? I know Skidmore is ranked nationally, with their academics program. I mean, what are you looking at? What are you studying?
I'm a business and management major, and I think that's kind of what stood out to me the most. I knew I kind of wanted to end up in that industry post college, so not a lot of other schools I went to.
Business and management. So, like, what kind of management?
In finance.
Oh, finance. Okay. Oh, you want to go to Wall Street?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. You're a numbers guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I only know math if it's sports math.
Okay.
Like literally, if I'm looking at a scoreboard and I'll be like, oh, okay, they're down 18. But if I looked at those numbers like right now, I'd be like 10, 15. I have to count it on my fingers. It was English and history is what I was. I took the math. I don't know if in your age group they had the Regents exams.
Oh, yeah.
But they were letters, though. So Math A, Math B, right? I took the Math B Regents 3 times. And my best grade was a 65. And I think they just gave that to me to not have me do it again. So I just, I'm not a math person. Yeah. But if you are, hey, more power to you.
I would say I'm the opposite of you. When it comes to writing a paper or some sort of history, I'm not the guy to ask.
Well, they make this lovely invention called ChatGPT. Yeah, for the professors out there, I'm not encouraging that, but they do make that. Yeah, we didn't have any of that stuff. Facebook, I still had my first phone was like a flip phone.
Wow.
And you had to press a number 3 times to get a letter. Those old phones, and so we never texted, we never did any of that. There was no TikTok, there was no Instagram. Facebook was just in its infant stages. Yeah. In fact, when I was your age, I had more experience with MySpace than I did Facebook. So that's how old I am. Yeah. So I might look like I'm 17, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm closer to 40. So you started all 24 games as a freshman. You mentioned that adjustment. That was a tough adjustment for you.
Yeah, it was a tough adjustment. I think we kind of got caught in a really, gray area with Skidmore not offering a graduate program and a bunch of other programs offering it. So
I think older guys you were playing against.
We were especially young, but I think the competition was especially old. Yeah. And I think that combo, obviously not a great year for us, but a lot of growth.
I think it was 6-19 and then 4-20, I believe it was, or maybe vice versa. But and that's the thing I mentioned so many times on the air too, when people would comment, on the videos, like this is a young team. These are pretty much all freshmen or sophomores. I think there was one year you guys had one senior, kind of like this year, where you had 2, and. You're looking at Hobart and Ithaca and, schools like you said with graduate programs where guys have been playing together not just 4, sometimes 5 years.
Right.
And, it's really tough. Yeah. And so I knew to turn it around. Coach knew it would turn around.
Yep.
And coming off of, you probably heard the name around campus, Edvinus Rubkes.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, who hasn't, right?
Yeah.
The all-time leading scorer here at Skidmore, and those were some crazy years.
Yep.
But it seems like every couple of years you guys have like a name that just stands out.
Sure.
And for you guys, well, obviously this year I know Jacob has been huge.
Yeah, of course.
But you've sort of been the rock throughout those years, being the point guard, being the leader of the team. And when it comes down to needing a big shot, a lot of the times it seems like you're not afraid to take it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I like too is how amped up you are. Like you can tell. The end of that video that I started the interview with, you can see you just amped up, pumping the chest, all ready to go, and sometimes it's body language, and body language is because sometimes I see the team. You guys had some down times this year, but one thing about this team, and I think this is a Coach Burke thing, is you guys never had your heads down. You never were kind of. Okay, well, can we get this game over with? So we go party or whatever the hell we're going to do. You guys always were fighting back, and every game was, for the most part, close.
Yep.
And I think that's a testament to not just the guys that he brings in, but also his coaching philosophy as a whole.
And to build on that, I think those 2 years we did have, we're super unfortunate, but a lot of growth, but also just increased our willingness and our want to win. And I think when we started to win a couple games this year and start beating better teams,
you got that feel.
Well,
the big one, I think the turning point, honestly, was against the arch rival, was Hobart, the 101-94 game.
Yeah, and even before that, the RPI win.
No, that was that was huge.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, that was huge too because RPI was #1 seed. They won the conference, all that stuff. But I remember the Hobart game specifically. One because it's the rival. I mean, it's Duke, North Carolina for you guys. I mean, it's the big one. And I know Charlie had went down out there, and then obviously Jacob gets hurt here against them. And they're very physical team, big muscle team. But to beat them. Why it was so sweet was before you got here, you guys were the last team to get into the Liberty League. And I remember everyone left Skidmore for dead. They're the 6th seed. They're going to blah, blah, blah. And they went up and beat the #1 seed Hobart on their home floor.
Wow.
And I remember the Hobart fans were not too happy about that, especially having it be you guys of any. So the thing with your game, I know, especially in this level, you grow throughout the years, you get better.
Sure.
Where do you think you've improved the most since being at this level of competition from where you were in high school?
I think just overall getting stronger was a big thing. I came into college and that was the first thing I noticed right away. It's just the size. Like you find point guards that are maybe shorter than you, but they're stocky. Yeah. And it's tough. It's tough to score on them, and it's tough to stop them. A lot of these guards love to post up. That's another thing I've learned. It's an inside game.
That was a big thing for me. I'm 6. I know you're listed at 6'2".
Yeah.
I'm just 6 foot even, but I was, a wing player.
Sure. Yeah.
I get to Hartwick and I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna be a wing player again. It's just like high school. I was the smallest guy on the team, so I had to switch to be point guard.
Right.
And you switch up, you play those duties, and I'm playing back then. I'm playing point guards that were, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". And I'm like, oh, geez, okay, this is different. Right. So I understand the adjustment that comes in there. But what makes this particular group, because you guys are young, well, relatively young still, only had the 2 seniors this year. You're losing your big guy, Joey, but coach said he's got some monsters coming in, so we'll see. What makes this particular group special?
I just think, everything we've been through as a team, nobody sees kind of what goes on behind closed doors. And especially with what we went through those first 2 years, but we went through a lot and we went through it together, and nobody was going through it alone. We were all experiencing it as a group. And I think we found some success this year. And I think once it all starts to click, it's going to be something special, especially because, the core of this team is all my year. They've all, I've been through, they've all been through.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be special when we put it all together.
Did you always want number 2?
Yeah.
Because you were 15 when you started.
I was 15 when I started, but I was number 2 my whole life.
Okay, so now you got that number back.
I got it back.
Okay, that's good. I was wondering, that's another thing. I was like, why the change? Because usually I was the same number all the way. I got lucky enough to be the same number in high school and there, but I was wondering if that was a you change or if that was just kind of like a
I always knew I would go back to it if I could, but number 15's in good hands.
That was Prince Shylon, I believe, was number 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Who, I don't do as many nicknames with you guys. I used to have all sorts of, you're a Yankee fan being down where you're at? Okay.
Yeah.
So John Sterling, used to have the nicknames for all the players.
Yeah.
I used to have nicknames for all the guys. I've gotten away from it a little bit with you guys because it's just, it's on the fly, so tough to think of one that doesn't sound corny. I used to sit down and actually like, okay, what am I going to call him?
Right.
But, I gotten away from that a little bit. But Prince was, I remember Prince was, what did I say? I think I said that he's a symbol because, I was the old Prince, the artist and all that stuff. I think. And then the worst one, I think, for me was, especially in today's day and age, and I didn't even realize it back then, was I remember Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
I used to call him the Colonel. When you think of it in today's day and age, probably not the best nickname to have for him, but hey, they loved it, so I'm with it. A little bit of you. I mean, we talked about your game, and anybody that's seen you play obviously knows your game. But just a little bit of life outside of basketball. Like, what do you do outside of basketball? Who are you not on the court?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. A question I don't get asked often. But off the court, I love being around my friends, my teammates.
Social.
Yeah. I love to play golf. Say it's probably my favorite hobby outside of basketball.
I can't get into golf. Okay. All right. Mini golf. I'm also in mini golf, but I can't get into regular golf.
Yeah, I'd say golf, being around my friends. Love going out with the team to eat downtown. Just spending time with people. that's kind of my life off the court. Nothing too crazy, but
Okay, all right. So you don't, because I know I had Ruby Crop in not last week, the week before. And
sure, yeah.
She actually plays guitar,
Really?
which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't have any cool hobbies
no,
like that. No,
you're not like a. I think she does. She does. She's like crazy. She does like mountain biking, skiing.
Oh wow!
And she's from the city. She's from Harlem. So like, I'm like, okay. So you have to come upstate to travel. At least you have sort of out of all that cluster down there.
A little bit, yeah.
So Mamaroneck, I remember the lacrosse team. Did you play any other sports when you were in high school?
I played soccer my freshman year, and then kind of went all in with basketball.
Okay, and that's always been like your passion in your
always, yeah.
Have you always been? You've always been a guard, I assume.
Yeah, my whole life.
That's your whole thing.
Yeah, I was kind of a late bloomer in a sense where I was always pretty small. I kind of grew maybe towards the end of my junior year, start of my senior year is when I started to grow a little bit.
So so you're 6'2" now.
Yeah.
Which on the court you don't necessarily. I mean, you don't look like you're one of the smaller guys.
Sure,
obviously, I know Nick. There's a difference there. You can see. But that dude, I mean, he can shoot.
He's unbelievable.
He's insane.
Yeah.
Who's the toughest player you think in practice that you go against right now?
The toughest player in practice that I go against. I mean, I'll give some flowers where flowers are due. I say me and Hakeem have gone up against each other.
This is tenacious.
Yep, yeah. He's a great defender. He's got a little sauce on offense. I mean, never winning the matchup between the both of us, but I'll give him his credit. And then obviously Jacob coming in this year.
He's been insane.
He is unbelievable. Yeah.
Yep. As a freshman too, which is, and then to have you two both in the backcourt, and especially now coming into next year to have you both in the backcourt is. It seems like every week you're both in double digits.
Yeah.
And I know you had. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this year I believe was your first career double, or was it?
That was last year.
That was last
year. Yeah.
You 13 points, 11 assists.
Yeah.
And then it just clicked that game.
Yeah.
You've always been more of an assist guy, but you like to shoot as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
You had 27-point performances, 6 threes. I mean, you just get in the zone sometimes. But you had a road win at Vassar. You went 4 for 4 from 3 in that game, and it's just it's watching your game is interesting because it always feels like, and I'll be honest, I'm not gonna say any names, but there have been guys where I'm like, pass the ball.
Sure, yeah.
With you, it's like, oh, we can score here. This is good. And it seems like you seem to be the clutch factor a lot.
Yeah.
Have you always been like a clutch player, or has that developed?
It's funny you say that. I would say it's something I've developed, being more prepared for those moments. I would say I've always been, especially at my high school, which we were good, but we weren't great.
Yeah.
I was definitely the guy that we would look to end a game. But I think as I've gotten older and started to mature a little bit, it's definitely become something I'm a little more comfortable doing.
You made a co-captain midway through, so I mean that's a big honor.
Huge honor. Yeah.
To have a team that you're co-captaining with under Coach Burke. I told him when he came on, I said I'm going to have some of your guys on. I don't know when it is,
sure,
but I'm going to have some of them on, and I told him I'm going to hope that they're honest.
Yeah.
But being under a Coach Burke-led team, what is that? I mean, you see him. I see him from obviously where I'm sitting, and I see him. He's very animated.
Yeah.
He's always a technical waiting to happen. Usually.
Yeah.
But he's very animated coach. But getting to know him a little bit outside of the court, off the court, he's the type of dude. I don't know if you guys have done it yet, because I remember he had the house issue with the fire and all that.
Yep.
But I remember he was one of the only coaches I've seen that had his players over for like a barbecue at his house.
Yeah.
And just kind of, it seems like like a player's coach in a way.
100%.
And because I've had coaches where it's just like, come in for practice, leave me alone.
Yep.
Come in after the game. All right, guys, take a shower, get in the bus. I'll see you back at campus. Like, and you've had, it's just about your I don't want to say slave, that's a bad word, but you like work for them almost. He's the kind of guy that he would chill with you off the court. You know what I mean? So, but what is it like from a discipline standpoint? Because I know he runs a tight ship as well, doesn't allow any BS too. Yeah. What is it like playing under Coach Burke? Is it an enjoyable atmosphere?
Yeah, it is 100%. I would say, the word that comes to mind is just passion. Like you see,
he loves the game.
Yeah,
sure.
in our lows, he's passionate. In our highs, he's passionate. And I think that kind of goes off the court as well. If anybody's ever going through something, we've got a great
he's the guy you
coaching
come in to
staff,
talk to.
of course, 100%. It goes to his whole family too. They're all around. His daughters are at the game. His son is a manager. His wife's at the game, like makes us cookies. It really,
they come to every. Yeah, they do come to every game.
It feels like a family from the players to the coaches, to the community. Like everybody just feels bought in.
And I think that's part of the reason why the experience is so special with Skidmore, because I mean, I'm the only member of my family that didn't go to Syracuse.
Okay.
And that's just because I wanted to play, in college, and I wasn't the right qualifications to play at Syracuse. Especially, I played lacrosse in high school too, because my dad played at Syracuse. So I was like, oh, spring sport. All right, why not?
Right.
And then ended up blowing my knee out, and I went from the 6-foot white kid that could dunk, well, sort of dunk, to not really being able to touch the long part of the net.
Oh, man.
And it just went from, Siena was one of them, St. Bonaventure, UAlbany, to D3.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, all right. And then I went there, and I ended up loving it. It was a great decision to be at a smaller school like this, to play in that kind of a close-knit atmosphere. How is, from a student standpoint, the campus life in terms of athletics? I mean, they support you guys pretty good.
Oh my God, yeah. The support is unwavering.
I know it's like an artsy school; it's more focused on other things.
But to be fair, we've got a group of 30 to 40 kids that show up night in and night out. Whether we were 4-20 or whether we were 13-13 this year, we've got students, athletes, teachers, professors that consistently show up for us, and I think that does not go unnoticed.
The two old guys that sit next to me,
sure,
you probably hear them. You probably hear them yelling all the time. In fact, I give a quick shout out. Richard, I guess his name, he goes by Dick, but you got to watch what you say on the air. But he's always sits right up next to me where I'm at, and he's always yelling, and he's at every game. He's been at every game since I've been here, even before I've been here. So the community. I think the one thing about Skidmore too is the community. Like when I was at Hartwick, obviously Oneonta, I don't know if you've been out there, but it was a college town that the students cared more about the party aspect of it.
Sure.
We got students at the games. Cool, because it was an isolated campus. It wasn't right in town like this. But we didn't get the community as much.
Yeah.
And it seems like you guys get the community a lot that comes in. Yeah. And when you guys walk around, you're like the big deal in Saratoga.
Sure, and it feels like it, yeah.
So, and I know whenever someone says, "Oh, Skidmore basketball," that's I've heard of them. Whereas when I first came in, it was Skidmore. I've heard of them, but whatever. Right. And I think that Coach Burke and a lot of the guys that have come in, you included, have helped kind of turn that around a little bit in the community.
Yeah, and I think Coach does a great job. I mean, the summer camps that he runs over the summer are just spectacular. Like when I go home and talk to my other friends that play Division III sports, there's nothing like it anywhere else. Like you don't see those kind of attendance numbers from these kids.
Oh yeah.
Anywhere
you up here at all in the summer? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every kid comes up for at least 1 week
for the camp. Okay, so you're familiar then with the summertime and what Saratoga is in the summer.
Unbelievable.
The track and all that stuff, right? The track's insane. SPAC, I don't know if you've been to a show at SPAC, but it's a lot of big shows. The performance venue's insane.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, I don't know if you're a horse racing fan at all, but you're not. Okay.
But I have been to the track once, and it was spectacular.
It's crazy. Like it's the oldest track in the country, and it's a lot of history.
Yep.
And that's actually where I got started, was listening to horse race calls. As well, that and pro wrestling, but
those announcers do better than anybody else.
It makes it exciting.
Yeah,
it really certainly does. And now to come full circle and be like, okay, I started getting interested in this because of horse race calls, and now I call for the thoroughbreds. It's kind of a full circle scenario for me. But and I started. So, do you do anything on campus like any kind of like work study programs or anything like that, or
not? I don't.
You don't? Okay.
I don't, yeah.
Because do you have any kind of like hobbies, clubs, anything that you're involved in?
I'm in semi-involved in the finance more club.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Which would make sense with your major.
Definitely not an avid member, but something I do kind of push myself to do more of, especially as I get older here.
you noticed that what were the academics what you thought they would be? You said you came because of strong academics.
They were.
Did they hit you in the face with it when you got here?
They absolutely did. Okay. Yeah, much harder than I was expecting.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I know that was the big thing about Hartwick was they had like an 87% acceptance rate.
Yeah.
But they slammed you when you first got there, and they had a huge dropout transfer rate.
Yeah.
So, and I know Skidmore was a little bit less with their acceptance, but I do know academically, the whole Liberty League is insane academically.
Yeah. And by the way, one of my teammates in high school, he's on the Hartwick men's basketball team.
What's his name?
A great friend of mine, Cosmo Hardinson.
Okay, again, I wouldn't know any of them now.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so he plays out there.
He does.
So Oneonta. So he'll tell you all about Oneonta.
Yep.
And I don't know if he's ever mentioned anything to you. Cold cheese pizza, has he mentioned that to you at all?
He hasn't. I got to ask him.
You got to ask him about that. I'll pull it up real quick. We're not going to be able to see it on the screen, but I'll show you real quick. So there's this thing... Because you go out downtown, Saratoga's got some spots, the old boys.
Yeah.
Or they used to be called Doughboys, but now they're called old boys. And there's some pizza spots in town. So this thing that Oneonta actually, they actually trademarked it. And so anybody that wants to use it, anywhere else where they open has to pay the town or the city. So it's pizza with cold shredded mozz on top of it. Mm. So I don't know if you're a pizza guy.
I'm a big pizza guy.
Okay, because you're close to the city, I'd imagine you'd be.
Huge pizza guy.
This at night, walking home from the bars.
Unbelievable.
Insane. and I've heard of it at first, and I was like, cold cheese. What is. And this is And then you
does
get it.
Does it melt or does?
No, because you eat it so quick. It
right. Yeah.
But we used to have. I lived with the football guys, even though I played basketball. So we used to get, we'd have games or watch a game or something, and we'd get pizza ordered, and then we'd say, all right, can we have cold cheese on the side? And they would give you like a salad thing just with this cold mozz, and you just put on as much as you want and just eat it. And the freshman 15 is real. Mine was like a freshman 30. But they monitored what we ate, and I had to stay in shape during the season. But once the season ended, once I was a senior and March ended, and we were done, and I was like, all right, I don't have to be an athlete anymore. Watch my diet.
Cold pizza.
Beer and cold cheese pizza. 100%. It was insane, and it's still a thing. Yeah. A lot of the places aren't there anymore, but is there? But that segues into: is there a spot downtown that you frequent that you like a lot?
There 100% is, and it is a favorite of my parents. Okay. I would say it's called Osteria Danny's.
Yes. Okay.
And my parents, they've
whenever they come visit, they go there.
They've become locals there. They know them by name. They just sit at the bar.
Oh wow.
Meet them there after a game, and definitely a fan favorite in my family.
How are they about coming to games?
My mom wouldn't miss a game.
Okay, so she comes in person.
She goes. I
love that. I love that for you, but I hate that for me because that means they're not sitting home listening to me. So
my dad will be at home. He's always got it on the TV.
Okay.
He'll come to the home games.
Sure.
Or
the big ones.
Sure. Yeah. My mom, she wouldn't miss it for the world.
Well, Vassar's a little bit closer to you, right?
Yeah, it's only about an hour and a half.
How far is it from here to Merrimack?
Like just under 3.
Just under 3. Wow. Okay. So it's a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good that you have the family that comes and watches as well. That's a big thing. And it was with me with Oneonta. It was 88 miles, so it was an hour and a half.
Not too bad. Yeah.
So that's good. And any siblings?
Yeah, I got an older brother.
Did he play?
He did not play. He played baseball.
Baseball guy. Okay.
And then went to the University of South Carolina. He just graduated last year.
Gamecocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gamecock.
Okay. And he just graduated, so he's close in age.
Yeah, just under 2 years.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you never got into baseball? He didn't try to push you into baseball?
I played baseball when I was younger, but just it's so slow and
it is. I'm not going to tell Coach Plord you said that. But okay.
Listen, I love that Venezuela USA game was absolutely electric.
Judge choked, but yeah.
But I'm a fan of baseball. Okay. It just wasn't a huge
for playing.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, basketball is the fastest sport you're going to get. I mean, even with football, there's breaks. There's between every play, they go into the huddle. There's kind of slows down. There's timeouts. Basketball's nonstop, back and forth.
Basketball, hockey.
And I think you got to be, hockey's a different animal,
but of course.
You got to be conditioned, I think, a little bit more to play basketball than other sports. And I tried to tell people that, and they're like, oh, it's not that bad. No, you're running a lot.
Yep.
So you got to keep your legs, your ankles, your knees. You got to watch everything.
Yep.
But you haven't had too many injury concerns since you've been here, though.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to speak it into existence,
yeah.
but you haven't, which is good because Skidmore has had that in the past where they get on a roll and then a player gets hurt, kind of like what we had this year with Jacob and Charlie before that. And that seems to be a trend a lot too. Is Skidmore's been undermanned a lot, but luckily Greg before him and then Joey really has been in almost every game. But for you, it's like, number two, holding them down. It seems to be you're out there every single time. Have you had a place so far in the Liberty League that you dread going? It is a tough Liberty League.
Yeah, I mean that trip up to Potsdam is pretty brutal. That Clarkson St. Lawrence.
Clarkson St. Lawrence trip on the bus. Okay.
Yeah, that's always a tough one.
You travel with the girls team?
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
we do.
Because we did all co-traveling in conference. I wasn't sure if that's still a thing.
It's not all games, but like those long trips we normally do together. That's a brutal place to go play. Yep. I mean, Bard, that gym it's always tough to win in.
Yeah. Well, I actually have not seen. I've seen almost all the Liberty League gyms, but I haven't seen Bard. But I know that the campus, based on what I've seen, looks like Hogwarts. I don't know if you're a Harry Potter fan.
It totally does.
Yeah. It's a big. It's all stone, everything. And it's like upstate New York's Notre Dame. Really, is what it looks like. It's crazy. And again, I'm not a big Notre Dame fan either. I should be with my last name, but I'm not. So for you, then, are you? Being a co-captain and being now one of the leaders of the team, are you the vocal leader, or are you more of like a silent killer?
I would say I do use my voice a lot. I would say Hakeem does probably a little bit of a better job getting a message across to the team, and I'll give him credit there. I get pretty emotional and in the moment, and might not do. But Hakeem does a great job staying pretty level-headed. But yeah, I'd say we're both pretty vocal. We both voice our opinions, and I think it's taken pretty well.
Oh yeah, no, I mean sometimes you gotta say the things that people might not want to hear, especially in a game that's not going your way or a season's not going your way.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of the stuff with us too. Was I was always kind of. That was a kind of a chirper.
Me too.
You hit the three, and then you turn to their bench and you say something. Yeah, and I think I don't remember if it was you or Jacob. I think it was Jacob, but it was one of you two that got a tee in one of the games where it kind of stood over him for a minute and said something, and I didn't see it. But all of a sudden the game stopped, the whistles blew, and they went to the scorer's table, and I was like, "What the?" And there was no physicality. It wasn't a flagrant. And all of a sudden, they're shooting 4 free throws to get the ball.
Yeah, that was the other freshman.
Yes, that's what it was. And I said on the air, I was like, how in this situation? Because you guys had a lead, and then all of a sudden they creep back in.
Right.
And I'm like, you gotta have a little bit of moxie in those situations. You might 100%. be PO'd, but you gotta just because refs have gotten more sensitive.
Totally.
A lot more sensitive. Anything you say now, with us, talking wasn't as much. You had to punch the dude to get a tee. But for now, you say the littlest thing and and it's so I've noticed that a lot in the games as well.
Sure.
So you say you live off campus. You lived on for the first 2 years?
I lived on for my freshman year, and then I was off my sophomore year and off this year.
Okay, so see, that's different because for us, we were only allowed to live off campus junior, senior.
Okay.
I actually was in the dorms for the first 3, and then the on-campus townhouse is similar to what they have here for senior year. And these are beautiful. I don't know if you've seen these.
Spectacular. I'm living in one of them next year.
Oh, okay. So you're coming back on
campus.
Okay. They're insane, and I think coming up here was it a different adjustment from high school in terms of when you get to a school like this that it's small, it's not a huge D1 university and everything, but the facilities here are top notch based on what I've seen. The dining halls, the dorms, the apartments on campus and everything. And a safe environment for the most part.
Definitely.
I mean, there's not really too many issues that happen on this campus. But overall, I mean, what has been your favorite, I guess, off the court moment? I mean, because there's a couple that I can remember, and even this was 15 years ago, but has there been anything that's really stood out to you about the campus or about college life here at Skidmore that hasn't been on the court?
Totally. I remember before my freshman year, we came up for the camp, and that was that first time we went to the horse races.
Okay.
And
so this was a summer
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
And that is kind of when I got a real sense of, wow, this is
Busy.
a great place
tourists.
to be. Yeah.
A lot of you downstaters up here. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's when I kind of got the realization, like, this is where I want to be.
The town is not as busy during the fall and winter.
Oh no,
it's definitely crazier during the summertime.
Yeah,
and it's based. That's I can think why the team's called the Thoroughbreds. It's based around the horse racetrack. So, but what we're gonna do is I have a segment that. I have a couple more for you than I had for some others, so sure. I'm going to do the fourth quarter free throws a little earlier.
Okay.
But I did have a couple that I actually had more for you than I've had for other players, just because I don't get players on. I've had Peter Fisher, I've had Coach Bostic, I've had I'm like Lindsey King. So it's different when you're talking to an administrator than when you're talking to a student. And obviously with Ruby on, you got to be a little bit more sensitive on the girl side. So there's a couple things I'll ask you. And again, if it's not something you want to answer, that's totally fine. But before I get to that, you were Liberty League honorable mention. You were third team all conference this year.
Sure.
And has academics always sort of been a big thing for you?
Yeah, it has. Okay. I think towards the end of my sophomore year, start of my junior year, I think basketball took over a little bit, but I always do.
You're talking about in high school?
Yeah. But academics has always been a huge thing in my house. It's something I definitely prioritize.
Yeah, because when you play at this level, you got to think, I'm not going to the NBA.
Of course.
Right? So I need to put myself in a position to be successful outside of school.
You use basketball to get somewhere, and what you do with it is what you do with it.
You were orange and white?
Orange and black.
Orange and black.
Yeah.
The Tigers make sense.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the green and yellow? Was it an adjustment?
It's grown on me.
Has it? Okay.
Initially, I was a little shaky about it.
You're like, Green Bay Packers.
Okay. It's grown on me a little bit.
Who's your NFL team?
Giants.
It figures being down.
That was going to be one I chose not to answer.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you did. So, okay. Well, see, my dad's a Jets fan.
Okay.
Poor guy. Yeah. But I'm actually a Cowboys fan.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm Yankees, Cowboys, Celtics. I'm all over the map.
How does that work?
Because I grew up in the 90s and I was an impressionable kid.
Okay.
And the Cowboys were the best team.
Sure.
And it was Super Bowls every year and whatever, the Yankees were the dynasty of the 90s. Yes. And then obviously with my last name, the Celtics, my mom would always get me Shamrock shirts and stuff, and
just fit.
So I ended up liking them, and it stuck. And it's been a disappointing 30 years between all three teams. In fact, I've seen 2 championships of my 3 teams in my 37 years, and that is Celtics in 08 and the Yankees in 09. Other than that,
the Celtics won one.
Oh, actually, recently. That's true. Recently, they did. Yes, but I'm not. They're my third team on the list. Okay, I'm not as big as an NBA fan. That's why I forgot about it. Yeah. If it was the Cowboys, I'd remember every detail of that. I'm upset. It's like a religion on Sundays for me with the Cowboys, and it's been a tough 30 years.
Yeah,
let's say,
to say the least.
You go to Yankee games at all when you're downstate? Or?
Not as much as I'd like to, but I've been to a few.
Okay. Yeah, new stadium's pretty dope.
Spectacular.
Yeah, it's awesome. And that's good. You're the first. Giants, I don't have an issue with. I don't have an issue with, but Coach Bostic was an Eagles fan, and I was like, I have to cut this short a little bit. I think. Coach Burke's also a Cowboy fan, so I was like, all right, tap that up. But yeah, and then Lindsay doesn't really care. But Knicks in basketball.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I don't know the Nets. Then now they're technically in New York again.
No,
so
I've always been the Knicks.
And have you been do you have a college team? I mean, I obviously got to move for Skidmore, but did you have a college team going on?
I did not. I mean, it sort of became South Carolina when my brother came there, but not a huge
SEC. So not Alabama then?
No, definitely not.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna check the Siena score here in just a second. Yeah. But yeah, Siena. For those of you who don't know, Siena was up on Duke last we checked. They were up by 11 at the half. For you, what has been the mentality when you guys go into a locker room and you're down? There's been a couple of games that you guys have been down in, at halftime, and you always seem to battle back. Is there anything in specific that Coach Burke says to you guys, or is it something different every year, or I mean, every game, or does he have a certain phrase or anything that he says to get you guys amped up?
Yeah, I mean,
only up by one now. I knew Duke was going to storm.
Yeah.
But okay. Anyways,
yeah, we've been in that position a bunch, and
recently more so than before. Yeah,
and I think a lot of it was one learning how to play for 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a 20-minute game; it's a 40-minute game.
You guys have been second half warriors all year.
Yeah, and
all year.
I think a lot of that is a testament to better conditioning, being able to play a 40-minute game, and just not hanging our heads. Right, it goes back to body language. You can be down at half, right? Shake it off, come out, new half.
What do you think attested to a lot of the slow starts you had? Because you guys have had, and I've said it several times on the air, is you were built around your defense, and you were built to get a lead and then have your tenacious defense hold it. When you got too far behind early, you had trouble coming back a little bit. But early in the season, especially that Plattsburgh game, Green Welsh is insane. But a couple of those games, you get down double digits early, you chip away, but you just didn't, pun intended, have the horses to get back into it. But there was a couple of times that you just it almost, the first half was almost kind of like, all right, when's it going to get going? When's it going to get going? What do you think attested to a lot of the slow starts?
I think a lot of it was kind of adjusting as a group.
Okay.
I think bringing in guys like Jacob, fighting through injuries. A lot of it was learning how to play together. And I think by the time we get to the second half, we all kind of settled in. All right, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to win the game. But I think that's definitely got to be a focal point this offseason, because
playing
sometimes
the full 40.
We would dig ourselves a hole that was just too deep to climb out of. I mean, we did climb out of it sometimes.
Sometimes you did,
but never a good position to be in.
The tough one too, man, was that Western Connecticut game.
Unfortunate one.
They were quick.
Yeah,
they weren't bigger than you guys physically, but they were just everywhere. I mean, it was just a blue and orange streak. Oh, it was crazy.
And give them credit, NCAA tournament team.
Oh, they did make it.
Won their conference.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Played a great game first round. Ended up losing in the first round, but a game you look back at the schedule and just be like, should have got that.
And every year, Plattsburgh's a team that you guys play, and it seems like, and they're always tough.
They're tough, and that credit to that kid. That kid had a phenomenal year.
And then you guys had a tournament, I believe. Were you in the Carolinas?
We were in North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. And you guys seem to play a tournament mid-season every year, it seems like.
Yeah, it's been great.
And what's that like being on the road for those? I mean,
it's great.
You guys bonding moments and stuff.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. I mean, our trip to LA last year was nothing short.
I remember that.
Tremendous. Great bond. It's just, to travel like that.
It's a long way to go for a D3 game, though.
It is, but memories that'll last a lifetime, especially with the seniors who aren't here anymore. Just some of the best moments of the year.
And we always loved long road trips too, because we would usually do when we did, and you guys might do this as well. You stay over on because the weekend games are the doubles. We never had to do what you guys do though with the home games. You're in green Friday and white Saturday if you're home. It's like the home and road jerseys. We just had our staff do the laundry. It just was. But I know that's a Liberty League rule, so it's a little weird. But to me, it's just like, okay, you're wearing your road jerseys. I feel I'm not on the road. Something about the white that I really liked. But yeah, so we'll get into it. It actually time flies. It's already been 40 minutes into it, so it goes pretty quick.
Yep.
So I'll put this on for the final. Yeah, I could run it video the whole time.
Yep.
But then the uploads are insane. So I usually break them up into pieces and do some marketing and do some, hey, check out this, and then they watch that and they listen to the whole thing. And it's just little tricks you learn in the business. Actually, I learned that at Connecticut School of Broadcasting is you live in clips. You live in clickbaits and sound bites, and so that's what we kind of have to do. So that's why I'm doing partial. But this whole thing will be up on YouTube tonight.
Right.
But, so we're gonna do a little segment called Fourth Quarter Free Throws. I know you guys play 20 minutes. You're sensitive about the fourth quarter thing. You don't have a fourth quarter, and it's just second half free throws doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
Sure.
So in the shows that you've seen, you know that this is just top of the head.
Okay.
Not even thinking about it. Just first thing that comes to mind.
Yep.
We're gonna do some basketball, some personal, and then I have a question that I've asked everybody so far that I'm gonna judge your sanity based on.
Right.
So your favorite place to play on the road in the Liberty League?
Hobart.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I would say I like the Vassar gym.
Yeah.
But Hobart's a good one as well.
Yeah.
Besides you, best pure shooter on the team.
Charlie.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to deny that. BSC, Big Shot Charlie. And he's one of the nickname guys I was telling you about. I don't do it for everybody. But, toughest Liberty League road gym to play in?
St. Lawrence.
And is that because of the trip, or is that just the gym in general?
Everything.
Everything about it. Okay. Yep. Do you have a particular NBA player that you model your game after?
Cade Cunningham.
That's a good one. Okay. Your favorite basketball moment at Skidmore so far?
Beating
any of the 3 years?
Beating St. Lawrence, big green screen.
This year?
This year.
Okay, so it's a recent memory.
Yeah.
Nice. That was a big one.
Yep.
Do you have a pregame ritual? Something you have to do before the game every single time?
I would say I'm the least superstitious person.
Okay, because I had to do a certain thing every single time, and if I didn't, I just fell off.
Yeah.
So, and some players have it, some don't.
I know a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people have routines, but
I had to get at least 20 minutes of shots up first.
Yeah.
Before the game, and I had to have a certain, like, I had a brace with my knee thing I told you about. I had to have that adjusted, and I had to have that a certain way, and my shoes a certain. It was bad. I had to have a lot of different things because I feel like it's a muscle memory, like with free throws.
Yeah.
You do the exact same thing every time you get that muscle memory. If I didn't do the same thing all the way through, it would just it wouldn't work for me. You have a pregame or postgame meal that you prefer? Is there something that you eat every single time?
I get the vodka pasta with grilled chicken on top from Danny's.
Post game.
Yeah,
every game.
Every game.
Okay.
Every home game.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Pre-game now.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to be stomach ache on it, stuff like that. Your favorite class so far at Skidmore?
MB 107, the introduction business class.
Okay. Yep. Was it a professor that you liked?
It was the final presentation is one of the good experiences I've had. You pick a company. It's like everybody who takes the class gets the same company. You go to the embassy suites and you present for executives from the company.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like a semester-long project.
And was that this year? That was
my freshman year.
That was as a freshman year.
Yeah,
talk to executives as a freshman.
As an 18-year-old.
Wow. Yep. Okay. That's intense. That seems like senior level type stuff.
It does.
Okay. Music before a game. You music before a game kind of guy. You have to.
Yeah.
Same thing or switch it up?
Depending on
because you're
my
not
mood.
superstitious,
Yeah,
right?
it depends on my mood.
I had a playlist. I'm OCD about stuff, so I had a same playlist every single time. But that's good. That's good to know that you're not weird like me.
Yeah.
So, this one, I don't want to get you beat up in the locker room, and if you choose not to answer, but I think it would be funny.
Sure.
One teammate you think would be a terrible head coach?
One teammate I think would be a terrible head coach. That's a great question.
Nothing against them, just they were just not coaching mentality.
I'm gonna go with Fumani.
Okay. Okay.
Because he is. I'm not even gonna explain myself. I think
you don't have to. That's part of it.
I think it goes without saying.
Okay. Fumani would be a great teammate.
Fumani or Harry.
Oh, Harry. Okay.
I give those two.
Great teammate, not the best head coach, right?
Great teammates.
Fair enough. Is there a player on the team who talks the most trash? Really,
it's a great question. You talking in games or in practice?
Either.
It's tough. I would like to say myself because I talk a lot of shit. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Jacob talks a lot of shit in game.
Okay.
Keem. I give it to Akeem. I'll give it to
Akeem.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Good. Funniest player on the team.
Nick.
And you can say yourself. There's nothing wrong with not being humble.
Far from it.
Okay.
Nick. I'd say Nick Padilla.
Okay. I can picture him being funny.
He's a funny
dude. And who's got the best music taste, in your opinion?
See, I'm going to be pretty controversial because I'm
I say you can be non-humble.
Favorite.
You can say me if you want. You know, like yeah, I'm the best at everything. Like that's kind of.
I'll go with Fumani.
With music,
shared perspective on some artists.
So great teammate, great music taste, not a great head coach.
Terrible head coach.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And if you were riding, I'm gonna assume it's Fumani.
Okay.
Well, no, because you said you liked his music taste.
Yeah.
If you're taking a road trip, not on a bus, just in a car.
Sure.
Player that you would not trust with the aux cord.
I'm gonna go with Will Wirtz.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has a weird taste in music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he a techno guy?
I give Will Wirtz or Jack Lagarde.
But okay, Jack. I tell you, I love the mustache. The mustache is an aura. That is a thing with him. That has been his thing forever.
You can never tell him that because
he likes it or doesn't like it.
He'll never stop talking about it.
Oh, he does talk about it. Okay, yeah. I was say if he didn't like it, why would he wear it, right?
Sure.
Okay, no, it's his thing.
It is. It totally is. Totally is.
And that and rebounding. Those are his things. And he's a heck of a rebounder. The dude is physical.
He's
inside.
A strong dude.
And he's going to probably take, unless they can get somebody around Joey's size, probably going to take a lot of the interior.
Yep.
Next year.
And his growth, his development this offseason is pretty pivotal.
His shot. His interior offense has gotten a lot better.
Way better. 4
years. Yeah. He was really just a defensive and shot blocker and rebounder for the first couple of years, and now he's really
turned a corner. Yep.
Which is good because when you have depth and diversity like that on the team, offensively, defensively, it always helps.
100%.
And I guess the big one for me, and again to judge your sanity,
sure.
And a couple of coaches, a couple of players were thrown off by this, but you don't have to be. But skydive or shark cage?
I'm gonna shark cage.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep. Very good. Dap it up. There we go. Because you got a ton and a half of steel.
Sure.
It can't get in there.
Nope.
You're on a crane.
Yep.
You've got people on the boat that are how many feet above you that can just pull you up.
Yep.
But the biggest thing is it can't get in there.
Nope.
Okay. Skydiving, you're 10,000 feet in the air. That doesn't pull.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
And I know that it's unlikely that'll happen, but with my thing is I'm not afraid of heights.
Yeah.
It's just people, you watch those skydiving videos and it's like they're gliding. You're 30 seconds, you're on the ground.
Yeah.
So you got to pull that. And if it doesn't pull, and I just think to myself, with my luck, I'm jumping out the plane, instructor or not, and it's not coming. And I'm just looking at the ground going,
Yeah, I think my reason I would say I'm a pretty nervous flyer.
Oh, you don't like flying at all? Okay. So you're not going to take a window seat?
Huh?
You're not going to take a window seat on the plane?
I'm an aisle seat.
Aisle seat guy, okay.
Yeah.
I am too, just because it's more, I can put my arms out. I'm kind of wider now.
Put your legs out in the aisle, yep.
So, okay. All right. Well, I mean, and look at this. We're right up against 5 o'clock. I mean, it's crazy how that works, because with you, it was more of conversation. It wasn't as structured as some of them, where I'm like, hey, okay, you got this, and then you did this, and you did that. It was just kind of, shooting the breeze or whatever, which is nice. But that's kind of why I tailored it this way, to get to know the players and the coaches and the staff outside of the court.
Of course.
And for those people who are listening, you know a little bit more now about who Aidan is. And I do have to say, I know you're going to be in class. I'm going to be watching it on the NFSH network, but go Brothers tomorrow.
Yep.
I mean, if it wasn't for who they were playing, I'd say, great. I want Mamaroneck to win, but go Brothers tomorrow.
Okay.
Purple and gold.
Yep.
And we'll go from there. So next week, I don't usually tease who I got next week, but it's back-to-back players. So we've got we've got the point guard here tonight.
Yep.
Or today afternoon.
Sure.
And we've got the point guard next week, Madison Meyer, coming on.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be interesting to kind of see the dynamic between those two and what their answers are. And I swear to God, if she says skydive, I'm back. Yeah, I can't do it. Anyways, this is WSPN 91.1 Voice of the Thoroughbreds. Chris McSwiggan here with you and with Aidan Roy, who joined us here today. You can check us out on the Facebook page, Between the Reins WSPN. YouTube is going to be Between the Reins WSPN. I haven't made an Instagram page yet because I'm old and I don't, really do all that stuff. But you can check us out. This will be up tonight. I live in Clifton Park, so give me a half hour to get home, and
Sure,
I'll get it loaded up for you. And yeah, we will go from there. I usually have a clip or something cool to get set up, but I was kind of talking and I didn't. So I'm just going to go straight into the music, and I don't know what this is, but I'm going to put the autoplay on, and we are good. Oh, you're not playing. Play. There it is. All right. Let me just make sure I